I never believed the stories my dad told me about old Esterbrook. Figured he was just giving in to his superstitions, but now I don't know what to believe. They said it'd be a short ride from the border to Gallowsvale. 3 days, they said. They lied. It's been weeks and we've still seen no sign of a town, a village, nothing. The woods are getting louder. During the day it's the howling. Wolves bigger than any I've ever seen, but at night it's the screams you hear. Last time we heard him we woke to find Edric, our tracker, gone. His boots were still laying by his bedroll. Someone or something dragged him away. I fear we will soon be next.
Hello travelers. Today, we will be discussing Esterbrook. The dark forests to the south of Valternia are a dreary and cruel place where many an unwary traveler is killed, eaten, or hunted by the dark monsters that prowl the roadways. But, in this darkness, there's a flickering candle. The enduring strongholds of Esterbrook. Shortly after the battle for the throne, the lands of what is now Esterbrook were under tight Valternian rule. Taxes were becoming constricting, and martial law was being invoked. The people who lived in this part of Valternia were plagued by all manner of unholy eldritch beings. Werewolves, vampires, ghosts, geists, and other horrible creatures roamed these lands. It's because of these factors the rebellion ensued. Valternia, having just fought a war for the throne and being nearly drained of all resources or a mass militia, had no choice but to agree. They gave Esterbrook its independence. In the eyes of the Emperor, this was not too great a loss. After all, what manner of people would want to willingly live in the dark woods and swamps of Esterbrook? Surely the inhabitants would come crawling back to Valternia or, worse, be dead within the decade. But this was not the case. On the contrary, the Esterbrookian people thrived. They built strong walls and sturdy settlements. They appointed watchmen to keeping constant vigil against the creatures of the night. And within due time, they forged a nation. Despite being a harsh and dark land, Esterbrook actually has a very well-dressed populace. The common wear for everyday life includes tight-fitting corsets, high-collared coats, tricorn hats, tall, fashionable boots, and frilly dresses. Esterbrook armor is often studded leather, worn by militiamen and huntsmen's guild alike. It is also affixed with barding. Thanks to the Inquisition, the Esterbrookian military has more than a few interesting weapons at its disposal. Esterbrook is well known for the use of the crossbow, a weapon whose bolts can penetrate armor and monster hide alike. They are also skilled pikemen using spear, bardiche, and halberd alike to keep their foes at bay. Esterbrook humans are a grim lot. Facing down on holy horrors and dark monsters on the daily would take its toll on any individual's mind and sanity. This in turn makes them very paranoid and slow to trust, especially those not of their own kind. However, they are a hardy breed of human, able to withstand most forms of torment, pain, and mental suffering. Esterbrook humans are often brown or black of hair. Their skin is pale due to the lack of sunlight in Esterbrook, and their eyes range from greens to grays to hazels. They worship the sun god Zaladar. However, since Esterbrook is by nature a very overcast realm, the light of the dragon god rarely reaches this land. Therefore, the Esterbrookians have other gods they turn to in times of need. Krina, the goddess of the harvest, is also a favorite, but there is one deity they revere almost as much as Zaladar himself. Geralt, the raven god of endurance. Not only does this deity share their strong will, but he also has a deep-seated hatred for monsters, the undead, and the unholy. Anyone can see that Esterbrook and the Raven God are very close in ideals and goals, therefore it is only natural that they respect him so. All around Valternia, children are told scary stories to teach them lessons or keep them out of places they probably shouldn't be. However, the scary stories that Esterbrook children are told couldn't be closer to the truth. These children are infused with the fear of monsters and the paranoia of the past generation. The people of Esterbrook are a very indoorsy folk. You will rarely see them outside the safety of their walls, with the exception of the Huntsmen's Guild, who go beyond the borders to gather food and slay monsters. And while the huntsmen operate outside the walls, the Inquisitors are found within. They are a group of warrior priests whose main objective is to root out the evils that can so easily cloak themselves in the human flesh. Common tasks of the Inquisitors include witch hunting, checking the deceased for signs of vampirism, and upholding the faith by any means necessary. But not all of Esterbrookian life is bleak and dark. The people of Esterbrook enjoy many festivals held within the town square and celebrate many events dedicated to the harvest season, a season they hold very dear to their hearts. Esterbrokians are highly suspicious of magic that is not of the divine sort. Arcane, wild, and especially necromantic magic are all regarded with disdain and disgust. There have been more than a few accounts of traveling wizards being banished from settlements out of hysteria and fear. Esterbrook, though a backwater nation, has always stood against darkness. Its people may seem dreary or grim to those who view this dark land from the outside, but in truth, they are defenders, protectors, warding off the things that go bump in the night in hope of a brighter dawn. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to tune in for the next one where we will cover the northern kingdom of Achaidh, the heart of the Empire. Go in peace, adventurers.